We flew from Vancouver to Pearson International and took an Uber to our Airbnb, which is in the center of Toronto, right around King West on Stewart Street. The ride cost around $40, and our chic, one-bedroom boutique condo was everything we needed, though it wasn't cheap. Nearly $2,000 for 5 nights. Thank goodness, it's in Canadian dollar, so no exchange rate for us. Well, it is Toronto, and it is the middle of September. The location was unbeatable, right in King West, where all the trendy restaurants and nightlife are located. This is inside Toronto's oldest pub on King West, Wheat Sheaf Tavern. Pretty cool place. We arrived very late, starving and worried about finding a place to eat. Luckily, being in the heart of King West meant there were still plenty of spots open. We ended up at Añejo, a lively Mexican restaurant just a short walk from the condo. They had a happy hour from 10 p.m. to midnight with $4 a taco. The tacos were the best, and the place was buzzing with energy. The atmosphere was incredible, and they stayed open until 1 a.m., which was perfect for a late-night meal and drinks. It was the ideal way to kick off our trip in Toronto. Hey, if you ever happen to be in the area, check out Añejo. On day 2, we kicked off our adventure by visiting the CN Tower. Admission was around $47 per person, but we decided to pay an extra $11 per person to access the top summit. It was totally worth it for those amazing views. At 553 meters high, the observation deck gave us a breathtaking look at the city. We could see the sprawling urban landscape in every direction, with the beautiful waters of Lake Ontario in the distance. It was incredible to watch the city from above, with little cars moving along the streets and people going about their day. The elevator ride to the top summit was a thrill. It's one of the fastest elevators in the world, zooming up at 22 kilometers per hour, about 15 miles per hour. In just about 58 seconds, we were at the top, and that rush made it even more exciting. Once we reached the summit, we were treated to a view that felt like it went on forever. We spent some time taking in the sights, spotting landmarks like the Toronto Islands and the waterfront. The skyline seemed to touch the clouds, and it was the perfect spot for snapping photos. After our visit to the CN Tower, we decided to pop by Massey Hall, and guess what? They still had tickets left for Sting's performance that night. The hall was beautiful and reminded me of the Orpheum in Vancouver. Both places have a cozy feel that really makes the concert experience special. Before the show, we stopped at Fran's just across the street from the hall. It was a great find. The diner has been around since 1940. Such a great value diner. I got an 8-ounce glass of decent house red wine for only $10, which was a great deal. Plus, we couldn't resist the full slab of ribs for just $22, and they came with tasty sides. It was an amazing day filled with beautiful views, a speedy elevator ride, and a fantastic concert experience. Definitely one for the books. On day 3, we decided to explore the city on the Hop-on Hop-off bus. It was a great way to tour the city. We hopped off in Yorkville, where we found ourselves surrounded by Midtown designer shops. It was fun to stroll through the area, checking out all the luxury boutiques and unique stores. After Yorkville, we made our way to the Fox on John Street, a cozy pub that was perfect for a mid-afternoon bite. They had some fantastic club sandwiches that really hit the spot. It was a nice, relaxing break before we continued our exploration. We wandered around the city, soaking in the sights and sounds. Toronto is vibrant and full of life, and walking through the streets gave us a real sense of the city's energy. For dinner, we headed to a beautiful Italian restaurant called Oretta on King Street West. The atmosphere was warm and inviting, and the food was simply amazing. We enjoyed a delicious meal that perfectly capped off a wonderful day of exploring. Day 3 was filled with great food, sightseeing, and plenty of walking, making it a memorable part of our Toronto adventure. On day 4, we took a fast pirate water taxi to Toronto Island, and it was such a great choice. The fare for the water taxi was $13 per person for a one-way trip, and about $24 per person for a round trip. Once we arrived, we were greeted by the island's beauty. The views of the city skyline from the island were absolutely stunning, and the peaceful atmosphere was a nice break from the hustle and bustle of downtown Toronto. Toronto Island is perfect for families too. If you have kids, there's a small amusement park that offers rides and games, as well as a petting zoo where little ones can interact with friendly animals. It was delightful to see the joy on children's faces as they enjoyed the various attractions. We rented a 2-seater bike to explore the island, which was a fun way to get around and see all the beautiful sights. It allowed us to cover more ground while enjoying the fresh air. For those who prefer a more traditional route, there's also a ferry that runs to the island. The ferry ride costs around $8.50 for a round trip for adults, while children under 14 usually ride for free. Plus, the ferry ride is free on the way back, making it an affordable option for families or anyone looking to explore more of what the island has to offer. After a fun day biking around the island, we headed back to the condo to freshen up. Then we ordered an Uber to take us to Black and Blue, an upscale steakhouse with roots in Vancouver. Known for its excellent steaks and seafood, Black and Blue is a favorite among both locals and visitors. The restaurant boasts a sophisticated atmosphere with modern decor and attentive service, making it a great spot for a special evening out. It was exciting to dine at a place that felt a bit like home while we were away. Located in the heart of the financial district, Black and Blue is just a short ride from our place on King West. Dinner at Black and Blue was the perfect way to end the day, allowing us to savor delicious food in a vibrant setting while reflecting on our adventures. Day 4 was all about enjoying the beauty of Toronto Island, making the most of our time outdoors, and indulging in a wonderful dinner. On day 5, we started by grabbing an Uber to the airport to pick up our rental car from Thrifty Car Rental. They were great and even gave us an upgrade, which was a nice surprise. After getting the car, we hit the road for Niagara Falls, about a 1.5-hour drive from Toronto. The last time I was there was many years ago, so I was excited to see it again. When we finally arrived, we were blown away by the falls. They were even more impressive than I remembered. Standing there and feeling the power of the water was just incredible. We spent the day exploring, soaking in the views, and taking tons of photos. The sound of the rushing water and the mist in the air made everything feel so special. We walked around, checked out different lookout points, and had a lot of fun at the attractions. After a fantastic day at Niagara Falls, we felt it was the perfect way to wrap up our time in Ontario. We headed back to Toronto. Of course, there's traffic. This is Toronto. Which was okay, as we had so much to talk about. Tomorrow morning, we're heading to Ottawa. Please hit the like button and subscribe, and follow us on our trip to Ottawa, then Montreal, and Quebec City. Thank you for watching. Until next time, stay blessed.